Hi there, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Today we have a nice video for you, which is the most interesting espresso coffee scales on the market. Now in the past we made a video about the most interesting scales in general, from the budget friendly up to the high-end scales. Here you can feel free to check it. But today we wanted to focus on espresso scales because there have been many new scales on the market and it's an interesting subject to share for you. Hopefully you'll benefit from it. Now we're going to start from the cheapest scale up to the most expensive scale, the MiiCoffee espresso scale. So this is super interesting scale because while it's budget friendly, it packs so many features up its sleeves. It has fully aluminum metal build quality. On the top you have glass screen, fully glass screen, touch panel on the surface. From the sides you have a silicone plug for the charging adapter, which is Type-C, and next to that you have the on-off switch. The on-off switch itself, it has two modes. Either the first one will be with beeping sound, the second one will be completely silent. The scale will not make any sounds. So when you give it one push, it will go into the silent mode. The scale is on right now, and when you give it another push, it will go into the mode with sound. So once the main switch is on, you come and touch the scale from the right, it will turn on. On the right you have the on-off switch and the tare button. From the left you have the timer start, the timer off, and the timer reset button. And to switch between the gram and ounce, you push two touches on the timer. Right now it's ounce, two touches, it's a gram. To change between the modes, you give two touches on the on-off switch. Right now it's on the P1, which is the first brewing mode. Before starting with the first brewing mode, we're gonna speak about the accessories that comes with the scale. So this is the box that it comes with. We open it. It's a well-packaged box. I doubt that any damages might happen during shipping. And once you open it, you have the charging cable Type-C. And the beautiful thing is that it comes with the calibration weight, the 100 gram. That's super cool because if you are traveling with the scale, or let's say after a few months of use, it's always good to recalibrate it. You put it, you dive into the mode and recalibrate the scale. Also, it has an instruction manual and a silicone pad if you want to prevent it from heat damage, like if you're doing pour over, just like we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna place the silicone pad on top of it. So one of the advantages of the silicone pads that prevents from heat damage, and if you are putting the glass carafe, it will give it as a stickier surface, prevent it from sliding over. So as you can see, you can fit a glass carafe. Above that we place the dripper. Then what you do is you tear the scale. So basically you washed your paper filter, you did everything, you tear the scale. Then you come, you add your coffee. So let's imagine that we are adding our coffee beans, around like 15 gram. Yep, 16.6 gram. And at that point you push the start button, it tears everything, and right now it's ready to detect that water porridge. Now it's ready for us. We start pouring. Imagine with us like there's coffee here, and the timer automatically starts. Above the timer you can see that it has kind of flow control sensor, so it's telling you if you are pouring water slow or super fast. Right now I'm pouring it really fast. You can see this line is at the maximum. We slowed our pour, and right now it's midway. So like for instance right now we are blooming, then complete pouring, and I'm gonna continue pouring until let's say 300 gram of water. And once you left the carafe, it automatically stops. It shows you the weight and the time that it took you to brew this coffee. So it's really cool feature, kind of half automatic, half manual, but cool for filter brewing. The next mode is that you give another two touches. Right now you're on the second mode. So the second mode, it does that. You place your glass carafe, you tear it down, and right now you're ready. You push the timer button, and right now it tells you put your coffee dose. So I'm gonna put my coffee dose. I'm gonna try to aim for 15 gram. Yep, kind of 16 gram, let's say. This mode is kind of brew ratio mode. So it will not show you the weight, but it will show you the brew ratio and time. So if you put 16 grams, you tear the scale, and it's saved that you've put 16 grams in. And here it shows you the ratio of 1. So basically it calculates that this is 1 ratio, it's a 16 gram. Depending on how much you are pouring water, it's giving you the ratio. Once we start pouring, the timer will start, also the flow rate indicator, and here you can see the ratio. So right now like you have achieved 36 gram, this is the ratio, and you continue pouring. Let's reach the 10 ratio. Right now it's at 10. So you've put like 16 gram coffee in, and the water, we got 160 gram of water. Once you lift it again, it automatically stops. It shows you that you extracted 164 gram of coffee, you poured. This is the ratio, and this is the time. It's a really cool feature for filter brewing, and as you can see, you're able to fit this glass carafe easily. And last but not least, the espresso mode. So the espresso mode, it works as kind of auto tear. You place your cup, it automatically tears the weight for you. You have to wait a few seconds, it tears the weight and it's ready right now. Once you start extracting coffee, the moment that it feels minimal weight difference, let's put the minimal weight difference, a few drops of water, it starts the timer. And we're gonna aim for 36 grams of water. Yep, it felt that there's no way increase, it stopped the timer. Remove your cup, it will still show you that you extracted 36.2 grams of coffee in 14 seconds. So those are simple modes. It's a really cool scale. I love the silicone pad, and that's it for the MiiCoffee espresso scale. The next scale on our list is the IKAPE espresso scale. Now, I know what you are thinking. This is almost identical to the MiiCoffee scales, and I think they share the factory, but there are some minor design differences. So the IKAPE coffee scale, you can see it has cuts from the corners to give it a unique shape. Here you have the silicone pad for the Type-C charging port, the on-off switch, middle switch, it will be silent, the end it will have a beeping sound. Inside the box, once again, you have the pre-calibration weight and the silicone pad. Kind of smaller design, more minimalistic, sits in the middle. So having them side by side, they're almost identical. The only difference is the cuts on the side with the IKAPE and the silicone pad itself. Both are wonderful scales. The MiiCoffee is slightly cheaper, so whatever you decide to go with, they are both super cool and budget friendly scales. Now to the next scale of Normcore. This has a unique shape with a tilted screen. It has a very good build quality. Once again, fully aluminum build quality. One cool feature it has is that on the back, you have kind of the user manual, each mode, what does it mean for, and the function and how to use it. This is a very nice idea. Coming from the sides, you have the on-off switch and the Type-C charging port and this little cool knob. As you can see, the screen is tilted. The advantage of the screen being tilted is that no matter how much you put large carafe, even if you put Chemex, you'll still be able to read the screen from the side. It won't be covered by the glass carafe. So the cool feature of this knob is switching between modes, because sometimes like you want super fast practical, just give it one knock, you are between modes. Look how fast you are switching between modes. It have 4 modes: manual, espresso, brewing 1, brewing 2. It's a super cool feature. When you pull it to the right side, it switches between the mode, and when you pull it to the left side, it switches between ounce and gram. So right now it's ounce, gram, ounce, and gram. Now this is the box that it comes with. You open it, you have the charging cable here, and you have the travel case. Now the travel case itself is really cute. It's as the size of the scale itself. We open the travel case, and you have the user manual and the silicone pad, 100 gram calibration weight. The silicone pad itself is one of our favorites because it's super thick, it covers most of the scale, and when you flip it to the side, it's thick enough to place your portafilter easily if you want to use your portafilter on it. And when you put it on the scale itself, it covers it in a way that stays there, always there. Even placing the portafilter is easier, and it's kind of like have a very snug fit that most espresso scales don't have that kind of fit. Let's test the first brewing mode. So you place your glass carafe, then you place your dripper, you wash it, you pour your coffee, everything. Once you are ready, you tear the weight. You're ready. Let's remove it slightly for you to see. Then you push the timer button. Right now the scale is ready. It teared the weight for you and it's ready to detect any kind of weight increase. So you start the blooming process and it automatically started the timer. After that, you continue pouring. Let's reach to 100. Then you stop. Once you remove the glass carafe, it will show you the weight and the time it took you. We move to the second brewing mode. Again, it's very similar to the MiiCoffee and IKAPE scales. You tear your weight, you finished everything. You push the start button and it tells you, show me how many grams of coffee you're gonna put. So let's put around like 15 grams. Yep, 16 gram. You push the start button. Right now it saves that your ratio is at 16 gram. You start pouring, it detects the weight, start the timer, and as you can see the ratio, let's go to 10 ratio. So 10 out of 1 ratio. You stop pouring. Once you remove the carafe, it shows you the gram, how much you've poured, the time, and right now it will switch to the ratio itself. In espresso mode, you place your cup, it automatically tears it down. wait 2-3 seconds, it tears it down. Once you start pouring slowly, then you stop, it automatically stops your timer and your weight. And once you remove the cup, it will leave the weight as the same and the time. And by the way, it has a 1000 milliamp lithium battery, more than the IKAPE and MiiCoffee. Now coming to the Timemore Black Mirror Mini. So Timemore have been in the market for a long time. They kind of were the first company that comes with a quality scale but budget friendly, the larger version of this. This one, it's been released recently. It's called the Black Mirror Mini. It has a minimalistic design, small enough for espresso, but it's kind of the largest scale between all of these. From the back, similar to the Normcore, it has all the features written here for the different modes. Cool idea. From the sides, you have the on-off switch and the Type-C charging port. Now with the Timemore build quality, it's fully plastic. I would say it's a very durable plastic, but it's full plastic build quality as opposed to the recent ones that are fully aluminum build quality. It has plastic from the sides, from bottom. The screen, it's not as bright as the previous one that we've compared, but it's decent power. So to switch between the gram and the ounce, you have to give around 6 touches to the on-off button. And right now it's ounce, 6 touches, right now it's grams. To switch between the modes, you go to the timer side, you switch around 5 times. Right now it's espresso. Right now it's automatic brewing mode. And right now it's fully manual mode. So this is the box. We open it, manual, the silicone pad, paper, the Type-C charging cable. And that's it, no calibration weight here. The silicone pad itself, it's again super cool, thick, durable silicone pad, covers most of the scale, easy to remove from the side, and if you put it on the opposite side, you can easily place your portafilter. So this is the espresso mode. Once you place your espresso cup, it should automatically tear it down. Yeah, this one was faster than Normcore and the other scales. I like that. Now before starting the espresso mode, I just wanted to illustrate an important feature is that usually if you are doing a long pre-infusion, there's some common issue with the automatic espresso mode with other scales. Basically, like if you go really long pre-infusion time and you are getting drips of coffee, so like first a drip 0.1 gram, 0.5 gram, you reached 1 gram, 2 grams. It might even take longer to have the third or fourth drip of coffee dripping through the cup. And if the scale is too sensitive, it might automatically stops the timer, thinks that your extraction has been stopped, where in fact you are still pre-infusing. It's a slow extraction. So what they did here with the Timemore, you can see here, you place the espresso cup, it automatically tears it down really fast, kind of faster with 1 second with the other scales. And when you start pouring, so even if it's slow or fast, regardless, even if you stop, the timer won't stop until you reach 10 seconds. Once you passed the limit of 10 seconds, if you stop, it automatically stops out. That's a cool feature, but I would say kind of having control over this feature if possible, it will be much appreciated. Some people might want to push the limit to 20 seconds. So basically don't stop the timer unless it's past 20 seconds or past 5 seconds. If kind of gives you more control, it will be better. So right now we're on the filter coffee brewing mode. We've placed the glass carafe. We're gonna start the timer. It gives you 3, 2, 1, and it's ready to measure the weight. So we start pouring here. And in this automatic mode, it won't stop if it's not filling until you push the timer button. Right now it's stopped. It won't stop if you pull the glass carafe. You have to touch the button to stop the timer. And another touches back to the fully manual mode. And that was it. The Timemore Black Mirror Mini Scale. Now to the cutest scale out there, which is the BooKoo Themis Mini Scale. It's transparent design, fully metal build quality, super small, fits in hand. It has the vibe of nothing phone, and on surface you have glass panel, an AF coated tempered glass screen, which is basically AF stands for anti-fingerprints. It has a like kind of treatment that prevents fingerprints from appearing on the glass screen, and it shows that it's super easy to clean, to wipe, and it's very durable glass screen, small design, fully aluminum. And from the back, similar to the Normcore and Timemore, you have the modes mentioned here as a kind of user manual. You don't have the box here, but you can feel free to check the unboxing video that we shared. It comes with a very cute also silicone pad. Unfortunately, we don't have it right now, but it does not come with calibration weight. And while it's super important, the calibration weight, and I did wish that it came with, even maybe 50 gram, it could be something considered for the future. If the build quality is extremely durable and as good as this one, I don't think you will need it that frequent, or you might never need it, but I still would welcome having that calibration weight with the box. Also, you have two options. If you pay slightly extra, maybe $15, you get the travel case, which is again the cutest, the most practical travel case out there. You have the logo here from the front. You open it, as you can see, it barely takes any space in your luggage. Close it, and it has a good bump, so I doubt any damage will be happening here. That's the travel case. Let's start speaking about the modes. So let's turn the scale on. You keep touching from the left side, it turns on, and from the right side you tear the weight. From the left side you start the timer, you stop the timer, and you reset the timer. So as this really espresso focused scales, even the modes are only for espresso, and realistically speaking, you will not be able to place a glass carafe. As you can see, like if you're placing your glass carafe, it's blocking everything. And even if you place like small cup, you might be able to kind of check for the time. You can do that, even if you have the silicone pad, small glass cup. But if you are placing glass carafe, it will be covering everything. Or you might get away with a small silicone pad and placing it here. But yeah, it's a tough scale to use for filter coffee, but you can do that. From the right, you keep holding it will switch between the modes. And the thing I like that it's super responsive, almost no latency. So as soon as I'm touching it, it's switching between modes. There is no delay. It's really accurate and reliable. So this mode is fully manual. The weight is manual and the timer is manual. Started, stopped it, reset it. So before speaking about the auto mode, this scale has connectivity by Bluetooth. So basically you can even adjust some parameters depending on the Bluetooth app, and it will even give you more information. So as default, the automatic espresso mode, it will not stop the shot timer once you stop pouring. You can set it to on and off from the app, which is very cool. And also connects to decent espresso machines and different apps out there. That's also a very welcomed and advantage feature. So let's show you the automatic espresso mode. So you place the cup, automatically tears it down, super fast, within half second. Once we start pouring, the timer will start on. And by default, this timer will not stop, but you can change that from the app. Or if you lift the cup, it will stop. And it will shows you the weight and the time. So it really has like kind of the ability to customize it, update the firmware. If the company come with the new features, you can do that within the firmware update or Bluetooth connectivity. And let's go to the third mode. So this mode is designed for many different espresso machines that already have the shot timer. So I know many people, they don't look at the timer on the scales, they look on the espresso machine. So for that case scenario, you can go to this mode, you place your cup, you tear it down, and you come, when you start your espresso extraction, you have the weight, but it's showing you also on the left the flow rate. So it's 5 grams per second, and once you stop, the weight is there, the flow rate is stopped. You have the timer espresso machine. So this is also cool mode if you don't want too much distractions, or you can go to fully manual mode, do not turn the timer on, you have your weight there. And yeah, that's it, the BooKoo theme scale, super cute scale, the Varia AKU Mini scale. Now this scale has came recently from Varia Brewing. We reviewed their AKU normal scale. In that video, you can feel free to check it. But here they came with a super precise espresso focused scale. And this is the only scale between all of these that has an accuracy of 0.01 gram. So all of these scales has 0.1 gram accuracy. This one has 0.01 gram, which is super precise. And you might argue, why do you need that? In espresso, it's nice, especially for us when we test the retention in different grinders. Even knowing that you have even the 1/10 of a gram of the accuracy, checking for retention, or even putting coffee beans, espresso extraction, it's a nice feature to have there for extra accuracy if you want. It has a minimalistic design, small size, slightly wider enough to fit 2 espresso cups on top of it. You can see here, it fits 2 espresso cups on the side. It has full metal build quality, and from the back, Type-C charging port and the on-off major switch. It has a relatively large box. So we open the box, it comes with the user manual, the travel case comes by default. And when you open the travel case, you have strong padding, the 100 gram weight for calibration, the Type-C charging cable, and small silicone piece. The AKU Mini has multiple modes, more complex and versatile, and gives you the ability to adjust between these modes. To enter the settings menu, you keep multiple taps on the T button. So right now we're in the settings menu. This is the brightness. You set it at highest or lowest. So this is the highest, you push set. You go next to the volume, set, you can set high volume, no volume, low volume, and high volume. So we're gonna set on the middle, set, and next you have the sleep time. This is also a nice feature. So after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or you can turn it off. So basically to stay on until the battery is off, or 60 minutes. Then you go into the delay timer, which we'll speak about specifically for a different mode. We set that off. The dose weight for espresso mode, which will also be coming next. And the calibration to put the weight to recalibrate the scale. And the flow rate, you can turn it on or off. So that small numbers we saw on the fully manual mode, you can turn it on or off. And the brightness back again. So this is the first mode, fully manual. You start the timer, you stop the timer, you reset the timer. Then you have the second mode, which is the automatically. So in this mode that has drop logo, it's basically just like kind of automatic tare. You place the weight and you start pouring. The timer won't start unless you start it. Then once you stop pouring, the timer won't stop unless you stop it. So this is like the drop mode, it automatically tears. Let's go into the second mode. So at this mode, there's no timer. It's only once you place the cup, it will tear the scale. It will show you the flow rate and the weight. That's it. Once again, similar to the BooKoo scale if you have the timer on your espresso machine. In this mode, I would have really liked if they decided to make like the weight much larger to take the entire of the screen. That would be appreciated rather than just cutting half of the screen. So let's go to the next mode. This mode, it's the automatic start, tear, and water detection. So you've placed the cup, it automatically tears the weight. Once you start pouring, the timer will start. Then when you stop, the timer will stop. So what Varia offered customizations for this mode is that you place your espresso cup, it automatically tears it down, you lift the lever and it will start. So it gives you the ability to control the auto start here between, let's go here to the settings just to explain to you. So right now this is the flow rate, it's called the delay timer. Yep, this is the delay timer. So we have it at off. Let's put it at 3 seconds. Okay, and we set it. So, and we keep pushing the tear button. Go back again to the main menu. So here in this mode, you teared it. Imagine with me the scenario, you've placed your espresso cup, it tears the weight, and you push the button, and the scale automatically starts because you've set it at 3 seconds. If you want it to be much faster, we're gonna set the delay timer to 1 second, or basically let's say 0 seconds. So instantly once it tears down, it will start. So here, like you have your espresso machine, you set the cup, you push the button, the timer automatically starts. 0 delays. So it's kind of cool customization that they offer this feature because you know what, you cannot satisfy everyone's needs, and I like that fact, like offering the versatility to fit everyone's needs. So let's go to the final and last mode, which is the AKU Pro. So this is the final mode. What they have is they divided the screen into 4 sections. So you can input your coffee dose and it will show you how much extraction came, how much time it took, and the ratio. So the dose here says 16 grams. And once again, you can set the dose. We go into the settings. We go into the dose weight and let's increase the dose to, let's do it 20 grams. It's taking some time. Yeah, 20 grams. And we've set the dose. Then let's go back to the mode, the AKU Pro. So here I'm gonna use a larger cup. Let's put this larger cup. Automatically tear the scale and automatically started the timer because remember we've set the delay timer to 0. So I don't want it to automatically start the timer. That's why I'm gonna go into the settings back again and set the delay timer to off. Okay. So here we are at AKU Pro. So we place the cup, automatically tears, it did not start. So here's the weight, here's the brew ratio, here's the timer. As soon as you start pouring water, the timer will start, the gram is showing you, and the brewing ratio is from top. So if we put 20, we reach 25, it's 1-to-1 ratio. Right now, once we reach 40, it will be 1-to-2. And remember, I told you I want 1 2.5. So this one 2.4, 1 2.5. Okay, the moment I stop, the timer stopped, but no worries, like with a shift. So instead of worrying how much 1 to 1.25 will be, you just keep pouring by noticing to the pour. You stop your espresso extraction. I know this might be too specific, but it's a fun mode to have there, especially if you are doing maybe manual espresso extraction or long pre-effusion time, playing around your espresso shot. It's a cool timing mode. So this is glass carafe, and by the way, this is the Varia glass carafe. So you can fit it if you push the silicone pad to the back, like let's say 70% of it there. For you from top you cannot see it, but for me from down, let's go to the manual mode, I can easily see the numbers. Place the glass carafe, I can see the numbers, and all is cool. The issue with the glass carafe is that whenever you go extremely accurate, you have to lower the weight limit. So here, because it's 0.01 gram, especially espresso focus scale, the max weight is 500 grams. So if you are using glass carafe, let's stare at the bottom, the weight. So the glass carafe and the dripper is 300 gram. This means that you are only can pour, there's even no coffee and paper filter. So if you pour like 200 grams, it will pump at the max weight. So you can do filter coffee if you are using like just plastic carafe and maybe small cup, or some AeroPress plastic food safe heat resistant cup, but it's designed for espresso, and they do have the medium sized scale and the new large filter brewing scale. So this one I would say like it's focused for espresso, but if you are on the go during travel, you can manage it for filter brew. And finally, the final point to speak about it is the Bluetooth connectivity. So the AKU Mini has Bluetooth connectivity. It's mainly for firmware updates. They don't have an app, as against to the BooKoo mini scale. They do have an app and connectivity to decent espresso machines. I know they are trying to make it to work with decent espresso machines, but no updates yet. But you have the Bluetooth connectivity there in case they come with any firmware updates. You can do that. Let's move to the final scale. Now the final scale on our list, which is kind of the one that started it all, let's say that way, is the Acaia lunar scale. They were kind of the first company to come with high quality scales focused for coffee. So we have here the lunar version, which is our favorite version because this is not only white coating, it's kind of ceramic white coating for easier cleaning. It also has the largest battery between these scales. So the Acaia lunar has 1100 milliamp battery, lithium battery. After that comes the Normcore with 1000. We have both the MiiCoffee, the IKAPE at 800, the Timemore at 780, the BooKoo at 500, and the Varia at 480. So of course, because these are smaller, they have to fit the batteries in there. The larger the scale, they can fit a larger battery. It has the strongest battery and the long lifespan, not just because the battery. So with the lunar, once again, it has Bluetooth connectivity, it has an application, and I would say it's kind of the most advanced scale out there because they've been in the market for a very long time. It almost connects to everything. It connects to decent espresso machines, other espresso machines. It connects to the pressure sensor. It also connects to the brand new espresso machine from Kees van der Westeren, the Spiritello. They've collaborated with them. It connects with their grinder, the Acaia Orbit, which we are working on a review about it. So because they've been in the market for a very long time, they kind of fixed all the bugs and they connect to everything out there related to coffee applications, espresso machines. Speaking about the modes, so on the left you have the timer to start on and off. You stop the timer, you reset the timer, and up on the middle you have the flow rate line. And I would say this flow rate line is kind of the fastest between all of these scales. The cool thing about the Acaia is the latency. It almost has zero latency. There is no lag. It's super fast, and even changing between the modes, so you keep holding the switch button, instantly jumped into the second mode. I like this fact about it. You keep pushing it, jump to the next mode. That fact, it's much better than keep pushing like multiple times or waiting for a few seconds. Here, it's faster, and it kind of gives you a feedback of dimming the light while changing to the second mode, rather than wondering like, did I touch it or did I not touch it? So right now jumping into the second mode. And it also has so many customizations inside the app. So the user manual is a bit complicated because it has so many customizations. But for instance, you can customize the sleeping time, the brightness, the sound of the scale, the beep. So this is the case. It has a minimalistic style case. It comes with different pads. So like one for soft surfaces, one rubber, two different types of strips to place at the back of the scale. And here you have the pad itself that comes with the Acaia. It also cool pad can be used for portafilter on the opposite side. It's a lengthy charging cable and the calibration weight. The calibration weight is unique to them, feels kind of better machining, but yeah, all get you the job done. So the drop logo mode, you place your espresso cup and it does not tear. You have to tear it down. When you start pouring water, it automatically starts the timer. So this kind of auto detection timer. Once you stop pouring water, the timer does not stop. You need to stop it yourself. Yep. Once we left it, it will show you like kind of the average flow, the time, and the weight. This is 2.4 is the average flow. Yep, that's the drop logo mode. So going to the second mode. So in this mode that there's a drop and square shape, you place the cup, it automatically tears it down. You start pouring and the timer will start. Once you stop pouring, the timer won't stop. You have to go and stop the timer. You remove the cup. It also shows you the average flow rate and the weight. Let's go to the next mode, which is the triangle and square. So in this mode where you have triangle and square shape, whenever you place this cup, it will tear down and the timer will start. So they try to mimic the situation where you place your cup, you lift the lever, automatically started the timer for you. You place the cup, tear the weight, started the timer, automatically starts the timer for you. And let's like pour some water. If you stop pouring, it won't stop the timer. The timer won't stop, you have to manually stop it. Once again, you remove the cup, the weight, the average flow rate, and the time. Let's move to the next mode. So in this mode, I like the idea that they put the weight in the middle. They did not just cut half of the screen. And the timer will be on your espresso machine. You just want the weight. You place your cup, it will automatically tear it down, and you start pouring your weight. It will measure it for you. It give you a beep like right now I know that you are pouring. It's not just one cup, or you've placed a vessel, let's say. It will stop, the weight will stay the same. It will not tear it. It will also show you the weight, the flow rate. So let's go to the next mode, which is the same, but no automatic tear. Then the mode after that, it's the fully manual mode. And yeah, that's it about the Acaia Lunar. One last thing to do is the fitting test to check how they fit manual espresso machines, each of these scales. So we're gonna start with the MiiCoffee. It fits easily, even with the silicone. The IKAPE, also the same. Now let's start with the Normcore. Yep, the Normcore fit perfectly. And the one from Timemore. So without silicone, it's not fitting even without the silicone. If we remove this base, yep, it will fit, the Timemore. And let's re-put the silicone, the BooKoo. Then the Varia AKU, although it's a bit on the white side, it's still there, fits perfectly. And the Acaia Lunar. So the Acaia Lunar also fit with the silicone, with the flare. So the MiiCoffee fits perfect. The IKAPE also perfect. The Normcore, the Timemore also fits. The BooKoo, the AKU, and the Acaia. Yep. Now to the smallest one, the Flare Pro 3. Let's go. With the MiiCoffee, fits great. The IKAPE, also great. The Normcore. Now the Normcore, it fits, but you cannot push it far to the end. So from front, let's remove the silicone. Yeah, if you remove the silicone piece, you can utilize the Normcore. I wouldn't say it's an ideal fit, but you can use that. Let's go to the Timemore. So with the Timemore, again, you can, but it's much trickier. Let's remove the base maybe. No, actually the base is better. It's pumping it up. I guess you can do that, but it's not practical. The BooKoo, the Varia AKU. Now the Varia AKU, Also, you can use it. It's not ideal, but the beauty of it, it's because it's so thin, you can utilize it this way in a vertical. Again, it might not be ideal. Let's remove the silicone, but you can use it. It's kind of an advantage of this mode. So straightforward, you can use it. It's not ideal, but the cup, not ideal. You can use the cup. Yeah, I would give it like a good fit. Now the Acaia Lunar. Let's remove the silicone. Yep, the Lunar is kind of the same. You have to make sure it's not touching from back, but if you place your espresso cup, you can use it. Hope that was helpful. So to wrap this video up, if you are on a budget, the cheapest scale, the most practical, enjoyable, fits everywhere is the MiiCoffee. IKAPE has a different shape, but the MiiCoffee is the cheapest one. Going to the Timemore. Now the thing with Timemore is that it's not cheap, but you can find it very cheap depending on where you live at. So if you can find it like really at a very attractive and good price tag, that makes it better decision for you. But for now, for us, the price we were able to find it, I would say the competition is better. Going to the Normcore, this is super versatile scale, and if I have to use one of them as the most versatile scale, will be the Normcore, because the shape of the screen, you can fit any kind of carafe on top, and the way that you shift between the modes, super smooth, super easy. So if you are like person who brew espresso but you love your filter routine, it's a very practical scale for you. Going to the BooKoo scale, this is the cutest scale. Like, we really loved it. From the first time you've opened it, did the unboxing video, traveled with it. It's a beautiful scale, checks so many boxes, and I would love to see a white version of that one. By the way, the Normcore have different colors. The Timemore have white. The Varia AKU has black and white. The Lunar has maybe 5 colors, but the BooKoo only comes in black. I would love to see it in white, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful scale. Really worth every dollar investing in it. Coming to the Varia AKU, it's the only one with 0.01 gram. If you are super focused into that kind of accuracy, it's your only option at a reasonable price tag in this category. It's versatile, durable, has many features. Yeah, it's a good option, but you cannot push it to filter brewing. The Lunar, the issue of the Lunar, again, similar kind of to the Timemore, is the price tag. So in the US, it's far more cheaper than Europe. In Europe, it will be on average around like $350 US. In the US, you can easily find it for $200, $250. So that's like a major gap fluctuation in price. Of course, it depends on the tax, but it's the largest in battery. And I would say nowadays, considering all these options, the Lunar only makes sense for coffee shop owners and people who want to utilize its features like connectivity to decent espresso machines, or maybe the Keys Van der Westen, but those will be very niche category of people. Yeah, hopefully that was an enjoyable video. Hopefully you'll be able to benefit from it. And look, please let us know your thoughts if you have any of these scales. Don't forget to benefit from our discount codes. And that's it for today. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.